Hey guys, so as you can see, I'm doing things a little bit different today. I am using a mic, and I'm not doing that to be interesting, but I just felt like the quality of my audio in the past videos has been really bad. And I still had this old mic that I bought last year that I've never used, and I was like, let me just use this mic. Let me know if it's good. I tried it and it was okay. So let me know what you think. I'm not good at it. And when I attached it to my sweater, it was not giving. It was okay when I tried it. But I keep moving it and I can't do that because it affects the audio. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Just wanna chill with you. But basically, in my previous video, I was talking about exams. It was a whole video about tips and tricks for your exams. And I am studying day and night. It's super exhausting, but obviously, we gotta do it. And yeah, I was just thinking, let me just do a sit down video this week. Let me just talk, chit chat, because I don't really get deep and down into my personal things. It's mostly weekly vlogs, pamper vlogs, but I don't really sit down and just talk. And I felt like that was appropriate. I just want to say in advance, if you're still watching, if the audio is still bad and even worse, I apologize. I am gonna try and fix something for the following weeks. Let's just get into this. I have a few questions. No one sent me any questions, by the way. Like, this is a Q&A, but I made up the questions by myself, and I just want to answer a few questions, just for myself. I did a quick Q&A a couple of, well, I think last year, but that was really like deep and the questions were really like vague. Okay, one thing I'm going to say again about this little thing is that I breathe very heavily, and I feel like you can hear that in the mic. I'm really trying to slow down my breathing and stuff. But okay, so a few questions. First, I quickly want to talk about the exam period that we're in. Yes, it's my first year of college. My experience, to be honest, is, I don't know. I like college. I'm really grateful to be in college. I'm really grateful to be in school. The course I'm doing, I'm studying communications right now, and I like it. It's definitely something that I'm interested in. I feel like people say like communication is like for people who don't know what they want to do. I don't know if that's true or not. My experience in school is a little bit different. I don't know if I talked about this before ever, but I was always in high school part of like a group. People who know I was always part of a group of three girls, me and two other girls, and we were like the three girls, like me and my friends. We've been friends since, well, one of them is my sister, one of them is my sister, but the other one, we've been friends like really close. It's so close where that if one of us is not around, people like ask where's the other one, that kind of friendship. I had that friendship for years, like 5 years. We're still really close, but we're not in the same school anymore. When I say 5 years, I mean like my whole high school experience was being part of this like group and always coming to school knowing that I'm gonna have people to talk to. And I feel like with college, it's not like that. I feel like I'm more closed up than I ever thought that I even was. I always thought that I was like a very open person, very extroverted, but now in college, I feel like that is not the case. I was always the loud one. I was always the extroverted one. I was always the one talking back to teachers. Not that that's like a fun or like, what I'm saying, that's really bad, but I'm just saying like I had that confidence to even do stuff like that. I was always running through the halls, but obviously that's a high school thing. I always had the confidence to go out and talk to people because I have my group, you know what I'm saying? And now I don't have my group. I realize how important it is to be by myself. You need that. You need to learn how to communicate and experience and socialize by yourself. I was always really dependent on that group and my friends, and everyone knew us together, so I was never really alone. I'm not saying that I'm lonely. I definitely have a few friends, but it's nothing like really, really close to the point of like, like a clique, like really like a group, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really have that college experience as in um the friendships and the things to do just because I am more closed off by myself. Maybe a little bit of social anxiety in the sense of that I do not know how to communicate in a way that I can like leave a mark on people. Like I know how to say, hey, how are you? Or like, what I'm saying? Like just basic conversation starters, but I'm really bad at like having a conversation that is really meaningful and that will leave you thinking like, wow, she's really like asking these very deep, insightful questions because I'm not really a deep person, I think. And yeah, that's something I realized by being by myself. I don't approach people, I wait till they approach me. I am always thinking about what I'm going to say before I say them because I don't want to seem boring or lame or anything like that. I'm talking in a way that it's like sad, but it's actually a good thing because I never realized this about myself, and that's something I'm definitely working on. So, a few questions that I have here on my laptop are some that I made by myself because no one asked me any questions. The biggest change that I've seen since last year or over the past year, I guess, is a little bit of confidence. I know it goes against what I just said about my social anxiety. That's why I wasn't 100% sure that it was like social anxiety, or maybe I'm just a little bit awkward. But I definitely feel when it comes to recording and YouTube that I'm more confident. Also, something that I wanted to talk about that is really random, but for me it makes sense, is that I stopped making TikToks. I was very active on TikTok last year, and I think also beginning this year. And I feel like the reason why I stopped is because it's really easy to get famous on TikTok. And I'm not saying in the way of like I am famous, but I have literally 40K, 40,000 followers on TikTok, and my videos aren't even that great. I'm not even putting any effort, and it just feels like I'm getting rewarded for nothing, and it feels very fake. It doesn't feel real. I've not put in any work. It's just because I went viral once for like imitating Ice Spice that I have these numbers, because 40,000 is a lot. And I also feel like I don't really like making TikToks anyway. My dream was always to become a YouTuber, and I was always like really shy and like I got bullied for making my first YouTube videos that are actually taken down when I was in high school. And yeah, TikTok came around when Musically stopped. I feel like Musically stopped way before high school actually, but I was never on TikTok. I was never on TikTok until I was like 15, 16, I think, and I was shaking. I was literally like so scared to post a TikTok just because I got bullied. And yeah, it's just, it wasn't the vibe. My dream was just to become a YouTuber, and that's why I feel like I've now stopped doing TikTok and just focused on YouTube, because that is really what I wanted. And the only reason why I was on TikTok anyway was just because it was like quick. It's because if you really think about it, on TikTok, if you're scrolling for like 10 minutes, 10 minutes, you've probably like passed like 100 accounts. And all those accounts you've given like maybe like one view, right? And if everyone does that, it's so easy to like gain like followers and likes on TikTok. Not that that's bad, and not that I'm never going to use TikTok and stuff, but it doesn't feel authentic to me, because like there's so many people on TikTok that have 2 million followers, that have 10 million followers, but no one knows who they are. No one has heard of them. I remember like back in the day, like not back in the day, like I'm not like one of the OGs or something, but like back in the day when someone had 10 million subscribers, 10 million followers, everyone knew about it. Everyone was like, wow, 10 million followers is a lot. There's so many influencers that have the same amount of followers as actual celebrities, and it also takes away the value of those celebrities, not the value of the celebrities themselves, but the way they're seen. I know for myself, I am a content creator. I'm not an influencer. I don't influence people. I don't post things that people want to buy, or that, you know, influencer is really someone who influences people, like Alex Earl, Monet. They influence people to buy stuff. And then you have a content creator who just creates content, and that's what I am. And I feel like there's such a difference there, and I feel like nowadays people really take away the I don't know how to call it, but like the awe, basically. Obviously, I'm not a full-time content creator. I still go to school, like I said, and I've not hit any of my goals. Like, I definitely want to grow as a YouTuber. TikTok is fun for like day in the life, like cute vlogs, you know, saying like those cute little daily lives. But I think TikTok is really not the app that I want to grow on. I said a couple of videos back actually that I was really grateful, you know, that I got the followers that I got, but I feel like they're not true followers because I got them when I went viral for imitating Aspice, like I said, and it doesn't feel good. I don't like it that much. And also just being on TikTok in general, I waste most of my time on TikTok. I don't like it, and that's why I stopped being on my phone in general so much. A lesson that I've learned this year, oh my gosh, and I think this is so valuable to me. Me personally, I have different things that I learn in different categories of my life. Like me personally, I'm someone who gets overstimulated a lot. I know this is not necessarily a lesson, but it's just something that I've learned about myself, and it is to not always have my headset on when I'm outside. And you might think like, okay, that's not a big deal. But really, if you think about it, in my whole high school experience, I would always have my headphones on outside. And it's nice to listen to music, but you really miss out on the actual world. I know it's so like, okay, like it's not that deep, but it really is that deep sometimes because we are on our phones too much. Like when our parents said that it was the phone, like it was actually the phone. Like really, it really, really was the phone. Going outside and putting my headphones in and disconnecting from the world, it's such a little thing, but it made such an impact. Like I don't go outside with my headset anymore. I can focus better. I can remember things better because I'm not always so closed off. Now to think about an actual lesson, putting my phone away in a different room just throughout the day so I don't get distracted. Eating better is a big one, but I feel like an actual lesson because these are all like, you know what I'm saying, something that I feel like I learned this year was definitely to believe in myself more. I've always felt from a young age that I had some like potential to do something, and yeah, I've always had that feeling, and I feel like a lot of other people also have that feeling. And I, for the longest time, was always dependent on other people's opinions and what they thought of me, and if everyone thought I was good enough. Because I'm fortunate to be around a lot of supportive people, and I was always eating of their opinion of me. I was always like, okay, do you like me? Like, is this good enough? Is everything okay? And if people were not giving me that validation, I always felt less of myself because like my whole confidence was based on what other people thought of me and not what I thought of myself. What made me more confident is actually just to believe in myself, because if you believe in yourself, you don't really need other people to believe in you. If someone is not in your life anymore because they actually don't really care for you, then let them go. It's no reason to keep them around. I've always been someone who is like, always feeding up other people's opinions, and I'm not going to say that I'm not like that anymore completely, but I definitely feel like I've made such big progress since, I don't know, I just feel like it's just been a journey, and I've realized how much more I love myself and how much more I believe in myself. And one big thing that I've not necessarily learned this year, but like I've always known, is that people project so much. Like if someone is angry at you for no reason and they're calling you something so strange, like all of a sudden they don't like the way you do something, most of the time it's because they are projecting something from their life or their experiences onto you. Like me personally, it's been known in my area that I like to make videos. A lot of people in my city know that. In the beginning I was so uncomfortable with the fact that people knew that I was doing this, like YouTube. But now I don't really care. I just post and I don't really care. But when someone says like, wow, like you're really doing YouTube, in a way of like, like in a way that is like supposed to offend me, it's like, just because you won't do something doesn't mean that I shouldn't do it either. There's also another funny video that I saw that said like, I don't know exactly what it said, but it's like,
it be too much. Oh, I would never, I could never, bitch. It's I would never cause you can't. Down. Period. Bitches love to say what they wouldn't do. You wouldn't do it, hoe, cause you can't do it. Down. Like that. Oh, I would. If I was her, I would. Bitch, you would never be in this position. If you was in this position, bitch, you can't handle the position. Down.
some people don't want to do what you do and therefore don't understand why you do what you do. There are so many people who don't want to become YouTubers, and they think like, why would you want to become a YouTuber? Why do you want to do this? Like, why do you want to put in all the effort? Why? Because you don't have the same like passion as me. So why would you understand? Like me personally, I have no desire to be a singer. I have no desire to be a dancer. So how could I understand what it feels like to want to be a dancer or to want to be a singer? Sometimes you don't really need to explain yourself to people who don't support you, people that don't like you, because they don't understand what it's like to be to be you, basically, to have your emotions, to have your feelings, have your passions. They don't understand that, so there's no reason to explain yourself. Something that one of my friends told me one day that I never really realized about myself is that I'm someone, I over explain stuff a lot. I'm always making sure that everyone knows every single detail to make sure they don't think that it's something that it's not. And it was on a random day that we both got off of work very late, and she was asking me about a trip that I did last year. Actually, it was the Malta trip, I think. And yeah, it was something that she asked me. Basically, like, I told her that I was in Malta last year, that I was going out. Like, I didn't mean out, I just meant outside. Like, I went outside, like outside, not that I went out, you know, like out in a club. I wasn't referring, I was just going outside. And she was like, wow, like, I wasn't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like I was over explaining myself so much. Like I just meant out, and I was completely like really trying to get into detail that I was not going out to the club but just outside. And she was like, you don't need to over explain yourself. Like my friend would not think of me as a person who even does that. Even if I did go out to a club, like she wouldn't go around the city and tell everyone like she went to the club. Like she would even do that. So why was I over explaining myself? There was no reason to do that. I just feel like that's something about myself that I realized, and it's good to know things about yourself. Something that I'm currently working on is definitely growing my YouTube channel. Like I'm now at around 288 subscribers. Definitely want to get to 1000 at least by the end of this year, because obviously we're basically in June. We're the 30th of May right now, but we're basically in June. And obviously, I want to reach at least 1,000 before the end of this year, which is still 6 months away. So I'm positive. I'm still very hopeful that it's gonna happen. But some other goals are definitely my exams, making sure I pass everything. It would be really sad if I had all these tips for like studying and I didn't even pass my classes. That would be so embarrassing. So I'm definitely working on studying, but I'm gonna be honest, studying for the exams has definitely ruined my whole morning routine, has ruined my day-to-day routine. I feel like I wake up and I'm such a mess because I know I'm gonna have to study that day, and I'm so tired. I don't want to study, honestly. And lastly, what I just want to talk about in this video is, let me just see which one I like. What is a self-care routine that I like, and why is it important to me? As I already said before, I am very much a morning routine person. I like to have a routine as soon as I wake up, making sure that I know how the day is going to start. Something that I find really important to do in the morning is read my Bible. I think out of 7 days, I get it done 4 to 5 times, and everyone is different. I really try to read this as much. I like to journal and I like to do my affirmations. Everyone has their own, path. Everyone has their own thing, basically. Well, that was actually my last question. I had like 10 questions, but I feel like I kind of answered them all at the same time a bit. So we're already at the end of this video. This video definitely felt more like, not like a podcast, but more of like a sit down. I really like this. I really like just talking. I didn't really have a direction of how I wanted the video to go, but I was kind of freestyling too. But I just felt like I really like sitting down and just having a moment to talk. I would definitely like to do more of these type of videos. You just need to let me know if this is something that you like. I don't know if this is gonna be the setting for these type of videos. If you have more questions that you would like to answer in the next video, because I think maybe even next video I will do another one of these sit down videos, or I'm just gonna see what I am going to do. If you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week Monday at 5 p.m. Bye.
But she's from Nicaragua, thought she was Persian, yeah.